Well, welcome back.
Thank you so much for having me.
Congratulations, you have a great new record. It's got all kinds of wonderful press from all kinds of different places. New York Times, Rolling Stone, Mojo, Mother Jones. Very impressive, and the record just came out. I mean, that speaks to a very highly organized team, I guess.
Yeah, it's been great, and I'm just always shocked when anybody is actually taking the time to listen to anybody's music in this day and age. So
Right.
it's especially
Because there's
nice.
so much, you mean?
There's so much, and also people just seem to be increasingly busy and distracted, and you know, so.
Sarah Jarosz, Chris Thiele. Who's playing on your record?
A lot of people are playing on it. Actually, well, yes, you mentioned two. Sarah Jarosz, Chris Thiele, Sarah Watkins. The great Steve Nister plays drums on everything. Rob Berger, a great session player from Portland, Oregon. Tim Young, Avend Kang, Sam Howard, Nate Query. It's a whole cast of characters.
And you still live in New York?
I do still live in New York.
Did you make the record there?
I didn't. I made the record in Portland, Oregon, folks, which is also where I made my first record, Fossils. Do we have any Oregonians in the audience? All right, small.
Not really.
Not really, sorry. We're in Boulder. Come on.
This is Colorado. Yeah, it's... No, you.
No, you.
Okay. So I want to talk to you a little bit about Ireland because you brought it up. So you traveled to Ireland in the summertime. Your dad's family was from there. Mm-hmm. What's your earliest memory? How old were you, do you think, when you started sort of really remembering being there?
I was really young. I think, I mean, we went every summer, which is just really incredible that my parents made it a point to sort of pack us all onto in those days, like a smoky Aer Lingus flight. And we would get off the plane and be immediately greeted by, there were 27 grandchildren, and so my dad was sort of the one of two of his 9 siblings that left Ireland at all, and we would just all be reunited every summer and eat 99s, these awesome ice cream cones that have a flake in them. That was probably my earliest memory, is ice cream.
Yeah. And I'm trying to think about that, just suddenly being sort of swept up from this world of TV and, Boston or close to Boston.
We didn't really watch TV, a public radio family.
Yeah, public radio family, that's right. So you were sort of like playing with wooden toys.
Yeah, exactly.
Macrame, things like that, yeah. Lots of oatmeal, probably.
Oat squares, Quaker oat squares.
Yeah.
That was really, my brother's here tonight. He can attest to that.
Well, but in any event, there was sort of an American whatever it was, and then all of a sudden you're in an Irish thing, and there's gazillions of your family that you didn't know necessarily, but some of you obviously you begin to remember after a while, but you're just like plopped into this other universe. You are, and the thing, my takeaway from that was that the American cousins, us, we talked so much louder than everybody else. That was sort of what they would always be like, you guys just talk so loud and your teeth are so big. Like that was one of my cousins famously said to my mom when he was like 7 years old, Lindsay, your teeth are massive. And my poor mom, she's like, they are? That's pretty funny. And then there's sort of a different pace, and there's laughter and music, and there's pubs, and sort of a whole culture that way of connecting that you became a part of. It's true, and I think it's such a huge part of my life, and it still is, and I think maybe part of the reason why I love my, career as a folk musician is because a lot of that sort of is the same thing. There's music, and there's laughter, and there's pubs, and there's camaraderie, which is in Ireland, and sort of growing up, being able to spend the summers there and sort of having this just, immediate connection with these cousins and singing. We all would get together and sing every night, have these sing songs. It sort of sounds kind of probably ridiculous and like Sound of Music-y, but it was great. Yeah. And your grandfather was a big presence, kind of keeping it all together. Both of my grandparents, they were sort of my grandfather was a butcher, so when we were really little kids, he still had his butcher shop, and then after he kind of retired from being a butcher, the shop still existed with all of like the hooks and everything, and then now it's a sitting room. Yeah. Oh, in the house. It's still it's my grandmother's sitting room. Oh wow, that's some karma there. Yeah. No, I know. I'm feeling a little awkward here. She probably eats beef stew in there. Yeah. I feel like we talked about beef last time I was on the show too, so I don't know. This is like a theme. It's very rare for me to talk about beef, actually. Just. Are you really a vegetarian? Oh, yeah. No, you're not. Well, let me put it this way. It's been 40-something years since I've eaten beef. Oh, my gosh. Something like that. You look amazing. You got to see my grandchildren. They look really good. So let's not talk about beef anymore.
Okay.
I do want to just talk about community a little bit, because I'm trying to think about your life in Brooklyn, because you did really find a great way of connecting with musicians, with singers, with people, with places, with vendors, with clubs. And in some ways it reminds me of that sort of Irish village, seeing people in the street and connecting. And I don't know whether every musician who moves to Brooklyn has that same skill, but it seems like you did it. Do you see that connection?
I do. I think it's all about, I guess, sort of how you view, or maybe I don't know how to say this, but where I come from in Boston, my family, like you already mentioned, my dad with his radio show, my mom is also a musician. I grew up sort of surrounded by that community in Boston, by folk musicians coming through our house, staying overnight, music parties till 3 a.m. And I think when that's, people kind of tend to sort of recreate their own childhoods in a way. And in New York and sort of on the road, I seek that out. I look for the like-minded people like you guys and my bandmates who are playing with me here tonight. And I think it's incredibly lucky. And if you want it definitely exists. I think it exists all over this country for sure. Is that sense of community? It's special.
We've certainly had some interesting adventures on the road over the years.
We have,
bumping into each other at festivals and other places.
It's always a blast.
The last was a Negroni Party at some hotel somewhere. I think sort of vaguely remember that with Sarah Jarosz and Sarah Watkins.
It's true. I think this happened because we were my band. I'm with her with Sarah Jarosz and Sarah Watkins. We were having a post-festival, like 1 a.m, pajama party in our hotel room with Negronis and these cocktails that we made and snacks from the vending machine. And I knew that Hot Rise was probably coming into town, so I just sent Nick a text and I was like, "Are you guys here? Come to room 220." And then all of Hot Rise, there's a knock on the door and all of Hot Rise just enters our Negroni vendor machine snacks party. And we had some really great times looking up old pictures of Pete Wernick. It was awesome. I think I still have some of them saved on my iPad. It's my screensaver now.
In case you just tuned in and you haven't fallen asleep listening about Pete Wernick's old pictures, Pete's here tonight.
Oh, hi, Pete.
In case you just tuned in, you're listening to eTown. I'm here with Aoife O'Donovan. I want to just touch briefly on the fact that you had this great folk music thing, and then you went to the New England Conservatory and you studied studied music as a vocalist in the improvisation program, and it was very very disciplined of you.
Yeah, you could say that. It was disciplined. It was really fun. I had just a bunch of great people were there at the same time as me. Heather Massey, who is a great singer. I made a bunch of great friends there, and it was fun.
Yeah. And now I should mention that you're a frequent guest on other radio shows, including Prairie Home Companion.
I am.
Yeah. And now which is sometimes got Chris Thiele, your buddy, at the helm.
Yes, I haven't been on it with Chris yet, but I'm wishing him all the best.
Well, again, I think I started listing all those bands you've been in. It's no surprise that you found your way into these different communities, and a lot of the music is really different. It's not just one. I mean, Goat Rodeo, for example, was a very different experience with Yo-Yo Ma, Edgar Meyer, and Chris Thiele, and you.
Stuart Duncan.
Oh, Stuart Duncan too.
Yeah,
that's right. Wow.
Secret weapon.
Yeah. So do you find yourself, when you're singing either other people's material or bands that you put together, is there a different way you approach the songs as a singer?
Not necessarily. I think that I always try to approach, whatever it is I'm singing, with the same, sense of myself and respect for the material, whether or not it's even in a jam or singing with Yo-Yo Ma. You kind of have to, I don't know, I don't think you can. It would be weird if you did it any differently, I think.
Yeah, you had a different switch that you used.
Yeah, you were like, well, this doesn't matter, but this does. And I think it would be, probably you'd see through that pretty quickly.
Yeah. Well, I think it's great that you're just finding your path. And this is sort of relatively new on your, solo out there under your own name, doing your own thing with your second solo record.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's very exciting. And I saw you have a whole bunch of dates, so good luck on the tour.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, let's get back to music. Welcome back, if you would, Aoife O'Donovan. Hi, this is Nick Forster from eTown. If you want to stay up to date with all the performances, interviews, and behind-the-scenes footage, click the subscribe button. Thanks.